doing, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Overtime Sports Show coming to you live of all days on a Friday evening. Knowing you're not dreaming, pinch yourself, but we are here live on a Friday. Had a short hiatus, week and a half or so break from our normal time slot on Tuesdays, bringing to you a special edition Super Bowl Sunday show. Got a great show for you, but as you can see, it does appear that I'm doing the show by myself today, a little bit different format for you, but I'll do what I can to bring you the best kind of show I can possible. Oh, yeah.
Guess who's back in action? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How's everybody doing tonight?
You know, we couldn't do that to you.
We couldn't do it. Not going to miss Super Bowl Sunday special show. Live and in color. Greg Gross, Dan O'Brien, coming to Hatton. Let's do it.
Sir. Yes, sir. This is a special edition of our show.
That it is.
We are together for the first time in studio, in the same room. It's going to be a different dynamic, but the same great show that you're used to every single week. A lot of sports action took place since our last show. A couple things that we definitely got to touch on, but this show, I think, is going to be Super Bowl dominated, man.
I think so.
It's the talk of the town for the last week and a half, and you know it's going to be a great game this Sunday. And you know, probably the next show we do will be dominated by the Super Bowl. But we got to talk football.
I mean, everybody loves the Super Bowl. Everybody loves the NFL. I mean, stats speak for themselves. Everybody loves NFL. I mean, I'm here for one, this show, and two, the Super Bowl. I mean, everybody likes to have a Super Bowl party.
Yeah.
Everybody likes to watch Super Bowl, and you know, we'll talk about the commercials. We'll talk about the Super Bowls that we love, and
Taylor Swift.
You know, maybe a little bit of T-Swizzle. You know, Tay. But that's okay.
Yeah,
we'll make it work.
I'm stoked, man.
I'm pumped.
First time we're doing a show together. I don't know about you. It is a different dynamic.
Oh, it's awesome.
I feel different. I feel good. It's different having you here next to me. We can vibe a little bit instead of looking through a screen. The miracle of technology is a great thing. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without it, but being able to spend a show together is pretty awesome. So
it's pretty awesome.
It's going to be a good one. I mean, a lot of different directions we could go, but I mean, I just kind of want to start by talking about where we left off last show.
We're just going to do a quick timeout.
Yeah.
Everybody thought that I was done with hats.
Oh, yeah.
We got a special one. Being in Sarasota.
Man, this is a surprise for me, too.
We got ourselves a Baltimore Orioles bought at Ed Smith Stadium, 5 miles up the road.
Love it.
Sarasota, spring training, Baltimore Orioles.
That's a nice hat.
Bought it about 3 years ago at Ed Smith, 5 miles away.
Did you really?
Yes.
I was there?
Yes, you were there.
I didn't even know that.
So kept the streak going. People thought I was done, but not today.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
Heck yeah.
That's a surprise for me. I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
I thought the hat collection, the reveal was done, but you keep it going. You keep surprising me. That's a nice hat.
It's a very nice hat. It's very comfortable, too.
Orioles have great colors.
They do. Black and orange. You can't go wrong with that.
Yep. Good stuff. And I give you credit because, you know, I've said this before, but you're as passionate of a fan in really all the sports that we watch together as I am. But I just don't know. Everybody knows now the Devils are my favorite team. I couldn't wear a Rangers hat. I couldn't wear a Flyers hat in the division. You're a Yankees fan. I know the Orioles aren't their biggest rival, but they're in the same division. I couldn't do it. I give you credit.
Well, I couldn't do a Red Sox hat. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. Because you've done a Rays hat, right?
I've done a Rays hat. I've done a Blue Jays hat. I've never done an Orioles hat.
Okay.
So
just no Red Sox.
Just no Red Sox. And then another quick shout out. Everybody can see my shirt. It's a company called Roback. We're going to hopefully reach out to them later. But it's an old-fashioned shirt, so it's got everything for an old-fashioned. And everybody knows I love old-fashions. Greg loves old-fashions. So, you know, it's a comfortable shirt. We'll be wearing another one tomorrow on the golf range, on the golf course, and we'll go from there. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that shirt a lot. I'm a sucker for old fashions.
Everybody is.
That's stylish. It looks like it's quality made.
Oh, yeah.
Like Dan said, we're in the works with a couple partnerships right now. We're trying to grow this thing. Roback's one of them. We're reaching out to a couple hat distributors so Dan can keep his reveal going each show. So we've got some potential partnerships in the works that maybe will take our show to the next level, which is what we're hoping to do here in 2024. So good stuff on the horizon.
Heck yeah. And we got a special one too with we're going to do more than just one beer review. So
Yeah.
Everybody should love that.
Good point. Good point.
Yes.
Special edition of the show. We've got multiple beer reviews that'll be taking place throughout the show today. So make sure you stay tuned and you listen the whole way. If you're a fan of that segment, there'll be
Well, who wouldn't be a fan of that segment?
That's true. Yeah, you never know. I mean,
People like that were with you last month, maybe not be a fan of that segment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Exactly.
it's good stuff. But yeah, I wanted to pick up kind of where we left off.
Sure.
Last show, we had conference championships, a couple good games. We did some predictions, and we were just talking about that before the show opened. I felt comfortable having a two-game lead on you.
That you did.
We were kind of winding down our predictions. It looked like it was, I guess, sort of over in my opinion. But as we said, you go 2-0 or 0-2, and you're right back in it. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So I was 17-15 on the year in terms of win-loss predictions. I had Kansas City and Baltimore the over in that game, 44.5. And I think you told me, remind me, it was
27 points, sir.
27 points total. So
Yep.
way, way under in that game. It was just kind of a defensive battle. So I missed that mark. And I had Baltimore winning the game. I really thought Lamar and company were going to find a way over the Chiefs, but they kind of surprised people. And obviously KC won outright. So I went 0-2. You on the flip side, 2-0. You were 15-17.
Oh, yeah.
Coming into that, you had Kansas City getting 3 points. You didn't even need the 3 points.
Like I said on the show. I didn't need points. They were going to win.
Yep, you nailed it.
Yep.
And you had Detroit +7. So they kept it within a field goal. So you got that. 2-0. I'm 0-2. That puts us at 17-17.
Yes, it does.
So it comes down to the final game of the year.
Like the season, like our stats.
That's right.
It comes down to the last game of the year.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we'll figure out what we can do before the close of the show today. We'll make a bet. Maybe
Yep.
we'll bet on the over-under the spread. There's a ton of props that we'll get to again. But sticking with the games for a moment, I want to talk about how we got here. Some of this may be obvious. You listen to other sports that took place, Radio Row today. Maybe they covered some of it. But the biggest thing, the obvious thing for me is KC and the fact that they are, I think, without a doubt, the most experienced team in the league right now. And it's a little surprising when you look at a guy like Mahomes because, at least in my opinion, I still view him as a young guy.
Yeah.
I do. I guess it just seems like yesterday that he entered the league and he's just had a ton of success, and that's helping him get back to where he is now. Kelsey, Andy Reid, all those guys have so much experience. We know that they didn't have a great year to start the season. We talked about their receiving core or lack thereof, and I think it's their experience, their poise. All credit to them is how they've risen to the occasion. I left them for dead. It looked like the AFC. It was Baltimore. It was Miami. It was the Bills. Some newer teams this year looked like they were usurping the Chiefs as the team to beat. But sure enough, here we are. And the Chiefs just found their way right in. And I think it just is all on the experience of the Chiefs as a whole. But again, Mahomes, Reid, Kelsey, all those guys, you have to give them all the credit in the world for just clawing their way back into the conversation here, because I know at the beginning of the season, I didn't see them really just coming to where they are now.
Yeah, I mean, we both, we talked about them all year long. We talked about their wide receivers. We talked about their offense. We talked about their offensive line. And I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I will. I was big on the Chiefs all year long. I knew that experience was going to come to fruition. I thought, and I just thought that they were going to make it happen with Mahomes, with Andy Reid, with Travis Kelsey, Isaiah Pacheco. I mean, look at their defense. We were getting dinner earlier tonight, and I think we saw that it said they're two of the top defenses to make the playoffs. I mean, make the Super Bowl, which is kind of a cool stat.
Yeah.
San Fran and Kansas City. So, I mean, throughout the whole year, Kansas City's defense, I mean, their defense has been top 5. Their offense just needed to get whipped into shape. And you can see my future keeper in our fantasy league, Rasheed Rice. When he came up, he's a top-notch receiver. And Kelsey, he's still got a couple more years. Mahomes, obviously, you said you think he's just came into the league, which he did, 6 years ago. Yeah. So I think they're more to come. They're here for the long haul, and I like them. I mean, we'll talk about our predictions later, but I mean, maybe a little foreshadowing. I do like them to win.
You like them to win?
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll talk about it more later. But
I'm already liking where this is headed because to me, it's funny. It's Vegas, where the Super Bowl is this year, gambling capital of the world, basically.
Yep.
And no pun intended, but I think this game kind of is a flip of a coin. To me, it could go either way. The teams are just that evenly matched. But as they say, gun to my head, if I had to make a prediction, I think I'm leaning the other way. So yeah, we'll talk more about it as the show goes on. But yeah, you kind of nailed some of it. You were heavy on the Chiefs. I was a little unsure. On the other side of the equation, there was an equally great game in my opinion, San Fran and the Lions. I mean, again, talk about it. If you're a sports fan, a football fan, you can't really ask for more of what we've seen and that you've been given these playoffs. Have been some of the best teams have put on some shows. I mean, there was a couple lopsided games. Cowboys got embarrassed or whatever, but there's been mostly good games, and I think the teams that are here deserve to be here. And that 49ers-Lions game from a couple weeks ago was awesome. It looked like the Lions, they struck first. They struck early. I think they went down the field.
And hell, they're up 24-7 and a half.
Exactly. Yeah. They struck early. They had a big lead. And I bring it up because we haven't had a chance to really talk about it. Do you think Dan Campbell's gotten a lot of scrutiny the past week and a half? He'll probably continue to get it. Those memories won't be erased, if at all, maybe at least until the next season starts. Do you think he's getting the criticism he deserves, or do you think it's just stuff happens? He should have went for it the way he did, all that kind of stuff, or do you think he's getting the criticism?
So I'm a little bit in between. I mean, we talked about this, I believe, at the end of the year when they played the Cowboys. We said, why should he go for a 2-point conversion, or why should he be going for fourth downs all the time? I think a lot of it's finally biting him in the butt. I mean, I remember that game, they were up 24-7. They might have been lax in the second half, but there was a fourth down when they were in like a 45-yard field goal, and he decided to go for it. I mean, they only lost by 3 points, so you think hindsight 2020. If he goes for the field goal, I mean, they got a decent field goal kicker. He should make that 45-yarder and then go up by 10 points. So I think the criticism is real. I think that he probably got a slap of reality as well, being a hard nose and saying, I'm going to go for everything. I'm going to do all this. But I think push came to shove, and he's probably in his own head. He's thinking maybe I shouldn't be as ballsy, because they're a team to be reckoned with now. I mean, I understand why he did it, because they were a laughing stock of the year of the league for since 91 was their last playoff appearance. So I understand why he did that, but going further, I think that he's going to realize his mistakes and probably play a little bit more conservative and take. If there's a field goal under 50 yards, you got to take 3 points.
You think? See, I feel like what he showed us during that game was him sticking true to who he is. He has no shame. I don't think he's changing next year. I think if he finds himself in that situation again, he's doubling down and going for it again. I mean,
he probably will, but he probably in the back of his head, he's going to have somebody that says, kick a field goal.
That would be me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Dan, kick the field goal.
Exactly. So, I think I said it a couple weeks ago. I think that I'd be Dan Campbell if I was an NFL football coach, because of the intensity and the competitiveness. But
he's a really honest guy.
He's a very honest guy, and I think,
yeah,
I just think that he might learn from his mistakes. And 3 points is not always the answer, but it should have been the answer that time.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a good point. I think it's pretty unanimous. Even the staunchest of Dan Campbell defenders, fans, I think even they are thinking like he should have just taken the points.
Yep.
But regardless, it was a good game. And again, full credit to San Fran. I mean, I think you have to give Shanahan some credit. They're players, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
They were looking like they were dead, and they rallied back. I mean, that was a big deficit to overcome, and they got it done. I mean, there's a lot of players, who would have folded. They would have been dejected mentally, but there's just so much talent on that team. I think they found a way within and rallied, and to their credit, they're here. And I go back to kind of what you said about the Chiefs. You were kind of a believer in them from the beginning. I've talked about it since we started this show at the beginning of the football season. again, obvious speaking, but it seemed like San Fran was the deepest team, the most talented team. They've added to that. We've mentioned like Chase Young, big addition. I don't think should go understated, but they're the most talented team, I think. And it's hard to say that when they're going up against a team like the Chiefs, who they don't have too many flaws. But I do think the San Fran is the most talented team, and that's why they're here.
Yeah.
I mean, they deserve to be here because they're just loaded on both sides of the ball. So, Chiefs 49ers, we saw this matchup, what was it, 4 years ago?
Yeah, 4 years.
Ago.
Yeah.
So it's a rematch of a couple of years ago. Different players, a few different players. Purdy wasn't on the team. McCaffrey wasn't on the team. I don't even know if Debo was on the team.
No, Debo was.
He was?
Frank Warner was.
Okay, Bosa
was. And then on the Chiefs, it was obviously Mahomes, Kelsey, Andy Reid, the coach. Still, Shanahan was the coach.
Yeah.
There was like a handful of guys, but it's going to be a different matchup.
Yeah, I think so. And that's kind of why, again, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag now, but I've already kind of alluded to it. I do feel that San Fran, this might be their year. I don't know. Everybody's on the Mahomes effect, the T Swift effect, all that stuff. But and don't bet against Mahomes and the Chiefs.
That's what I always say. That's what I always say.
But I don't know. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
So.
We got some beers to mix in.
We do got some beers. I'm ready.
I'm kind of.
Let's give Greg a round of applause. He's back on the wagon.
I'm back on the wagon. You know,
he's done with his fun stuff. Yeah. So he's back for real beers.
So what do you think? You think we crack one open and then
let's crack one open.
Do some intervals. So,
yeah, we'll go from there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Bust my line, a couple beautiful girls tell me goodbye. Trucks break down, dogs run off, politicians lie, been fired by the boss. It takes one hand to count the things I can count on. No, there ain't much man that ain't ever let me down. Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart like football teams have torn this boy apart like a neon dream. It just don't know me, the bars in this guitar and long neck ice cold beer never broke my heart.
Man, that song hits. I'll tell you what, my man Luke Combs, I don't know if anybody watched the Grammys the other night. He got on the stage with Tracy Chapman playing Fast Car. Wow, he killed it. So shout out Luke Combs. Maybe we'll get you on the show anytime soon. But you killed it the other night, my man.
So as we talked about, we're gonna do a multi-beer review today.
And we'll see if Greg can pour it well.
It's Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
And oh boy, I hope this is a twist off. We got a couple here.
Oh
so,
boy.
This is special. Let me see if this is. Oh, it's not. We're gonna have to get that one over a break. So let's see. That's you. Okay, I'm going with this one. Actually, this is a good starter.
All right.
So you're right here. So there's not much hiding it. This is. I'm gonna hold it up to the camera in a second. If anybody's watched these, and I hope you remember this, Dan. Left-handed Brewing Co.
Yes.
I had one of these.
Yes.
From Left-handed, different beer.
Yep.
And I'm gonna hold this up. It's a little hard to see it. Left-handed Brewing Company is where it's from, and it's a Breezy Dozen.
Oh, I like it.
You know, I'm a big fan of the can art. I mean, look at these colors. I love the name. Breezy Dozen is pretty cool. It's a passion fruit sour ale. So you had a couple sours.
Yeah.
So
I got a sour coming too.
A lot of thought came into this one. Brewery I've already had, the name, the color, and the type of beer.
Yep.
And it's 4.8%. So right in the middle of the road, kind of where you want to be. Shouldn't be anything too heavy. Brewed on the banks of the mighty St. Vrain. I don't know. That must be a river or something. Before I open it, the description is tantalizingly tart. With tropical passion fruit.
I like it.
This thing's going to be bursting with flavor. So.
All right, let's see how the pour goes.
Come on. I mean, look at it. This is not too bad.
Yeah,
it's not too
good.
That's That's not too good.
Just joking.
Come on, look at that.
All right, here we go.
Look at that.
Friend of the show, Chris Dolan will like that one.
Look at that, man.
How's she smell?
Well, do you want to crack at it? I mean,
Yeah, let's do it.
No, I mean, do you want to?
Oh, no.
All right. There's a lot of flavor in here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give it my honest review. It's got a lot of flavor.
Let me see the can.
It's sour. It's not as sour as I was expecting, which it doesn't give me the bitter beer face kind of thing. It's not like sucking down some lemons, but it's got the sour. I taste more of the passion fruit in it than I do the
That's
sour.
part of the sweetness, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Get one more.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Honestly, yours that you had a couple weeks ago scared the hell out of me.
Which one?
The sour that you had, it was.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
maybe the red one, I
Yes,
think.
yes.
I mean, that was just
Yes.
gnarly.
This one's going to be interesting too.
Yeah, this is a good beer. I'm not a huge sour fan, but this is good. I got to go. I'm going honest, easy review, easy 8.0. 8.0 on the
okay.
dot. Nothing fancy about it.
All right. So this one right here is Crooked Thumb Brewery. It's called a Strawberry Shakedown. So it's a strawberry milkshake sour. And it's this milkshake-inspired fruit beer is jam-packed with strawberry flavor, generous helpings of vanilla and milk sugar, add creamy sweetness, a delicate strawberry dessert in a can. And before I start, all my beers I picked tonight are going to be from the state of Florida.
Okay.
This one's out of Safety Harbor, Florida, which I believe is
Safety Harbor, it's by Dunedin.
by Dunedin, yes. And it's called Crooked Thumb. So I'm pretty excited for this one. As everybody knows, I love me some sours. So we'll go ahead and.
I like that we got sour at the same time. That's good stuff.
Oh yeah, this is looking good.
All right, good pour, good pour.
Oh, the cups too. The cup's not big enough.
Well,
Oh wow. So that smells sour off the top. Wow, that's really good. So that is definitely what they said. They definitely said it was a strawberry dessert with some milk. And everybody knows, I mean, look at the art on that bad boy.
Yeah, I like the can art.
Yeah.
I like both of these. Wow.
The can art is really cool, as everybody can see out there. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 7.8.
7.8. Okay, all right.
It could be a little bit
Fair.
sweeter from my end. I want to say there's got to be more strawberry in there. I mean, you can definitely taste it, but it's not off the top like they want it to be, where it says strawberry shakedown.
Yeah.
When you say strawberry shakedown, you want that to be the first thing you touch.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the first thing you taste.
Gotcha.
So,
More sour.
I mean, it's tasty, but it's more. I'd want more strawberry kick.
Makes sense. That's
But
fair.
it's not a horrible beer. But you know, it's when you're saying strawberry, you want strawberry.
Yeah.
So first cheers in person.
First cheers in
There
person.
we
I
go.
like that.
All right.
Good stuff, man. Good
Yes,
stuff.
it is. All right.
So we talked about a couple things. I want to rattle off a few prop bets that I took for you. I
Sure.
want to get right into that. You've been asking me to get on Hard Rock for a while.
Yeah.
I've been, for the listeners out there, we've touched on it before, I think, but Dan and I would like to get down on some betting action. I'll bet on just about anything out there.
Yeah.
But we like to bet the common sports, football, the Super Bowl. We'll bet hockey. We've done baseball, basketball before. I bet horse racing, the Triple Crown, the Breeders' Cup. So we'll do just about anything. But Super Bowl's in Vegas this year. Everybody almost bets on it. You can bet on all these different props. We do our show in Florida, and they just
Hard Rock.
betting for
Hard Rock just came in.
Yep, exactly. So it's legal now in the state. You don't have to hide it. I used to bet some offshore type stuff. People have concerns over that. Sometimes it's hard to get your money. I got my money. I got it out.
Yeah, there
Paid
you
a
go.
little bit, and I got my money
There
finally,
you go.
which is good. But I'm going to move over to Hard Rock. So I took a couple small, simple bets right now just
Okay.
to put a little splash out there. And I want your opinion on them. So first one is How many touchdowns do you think each team is going to score this weekend? Doesn't matter what type, passing, rushing,
So-
defensive.
I think 7 total.
7 total.
So 4 and 3.
4 and 3. My man. I think this one is easy. I don't know why. They have it here. Maybe I'm overlooking something, but the bet I took on Hard Rock, so listeners
Yeah.
want to follow along, you want to try to make some money, not responsible if you lose. Put that disclaimer up there, but this stood out to me pretty easily. I put $10 up, just for
Yeah.
kicks. But the bet is, will both teams score 2 or more touchdowns?
Oh, easy.
I thought easily.
What are
right?
the odds on that? Minus 110?
It doesn't tell me. Oh, minus 165. So
Okay.
it's not great, but it's worth $10. I mean, I'll double my money.
10 to win 1665?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think, is that not?
Oh, that's a no-brainer. No, that's a no-brainer.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
each.
that's
I
a
just-
no-brainer.
You know, the random Super Bowl 7. I think back to when the Giants won in 07.
Yep.
They beat the undefeated Patriots. That
Yep.
was a 17-10 Super Bowl, I think.
Yep.
So obviously, I don't even that score actually. Well, no, it couldn't have been because the team that had 10. That was the one where one team didn't score 2
Yep.
touchdowns.
Yep.
But that's rare, right? I mean, so I think
It
that
happened
was
again a
easy.
couple years ago with the Rams, 13-3.
Yeah, exactly. So there's been a couple snoozers, but for the most part, I mean, I would be shocked if they didn't.
So would I.
score. So that one was one. The next one is an interesting one. Which team scores the longest touchdown?
Ooh. I would say
50-50 chance.
Debo Samuel or McCaffrey with the Niners.
My man.
There you
I
go.
took the Niners all
Yeah.
day.
There you go.
Because if you think about it, Kelsey, he gets touchdowns. He gets a lot of short stuff.
He
goal
does.
line stuff.
Yeah.
Pacheco might get a run on the goal line or something. I think it's the Niners all day break.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly what you said.
For sure.
Debo, McCaffrey, whatever.
For sure.
So we're 2 for 2. I love it. Next one is, again, I think this is kind of an easy one. Maybe it's not. The odds are a little better, actually. But Patrick Mahomes or Brock Purdy with a rushing touchdown.
Oh, that's easy. Yeah,
I like it.
that's easy.
Both of them rush.
Mahomes
Both of them
rushes.
rush.
Yeah, Mahomes
does. I
rushes.
think
Yeah,
even
Mahomes
Purdy
runs. Yeah.
Sometimes. Purdy, I could see them faking McCaffrey and then rolling out.
Oh, yeah,
Something-
well, naked bootleg.
something.
Naked
But-
bootleg.
But Mahomes, I could see them doubling Kelsey, doubling Rice. You know, the backfield is completely covered. Mahomes runs in. So
I can see that.
either one of them get a rushing touchdown. That was plus 180. So
Oh, perfect.
you know, I mean, triple your money basically.
Yeah.
$5 on it. Next one was Debo Samuel or Rashee Rice. If they got receptions, what would you say the over/under on their longest would be? Either one of them. What would you feel comfortable?
25 yards.
Okay, it's close. This one, it was a little bit of a reach. It's 30 yards.
Okay.
I figured,
I could see
As you
Debo or I
said.
could say Rasheen.
yeah.
my boy.
And I,
Yeah.
you know me, Debo, well, I don't think I can keep him anymore. But
Well, you know
Debo
Rasheen's
was
going to be my boy next year.
Rasheed's going to be your boy. Those
Yeah.
guys are similar.
Yeah.
They catch a slant pass and they run,
Yep.
which counts as the yards.
Yep.
So I like that. I like that a lot. And then I did just a bet on the game overall. The spread hasn't really moved.
It
From
was
minus
1.5. Okay.
Okay, it's been 2 for a while.
Yep.
And I just took the Niners because I like them right now. But I took a couple props there, as you can see.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah, those are always fun. They always have fun ones too when they like over under a minute and a half for the pledge or the Star Spangled Banner.
those
no.
are all them. How about the Gatorade?
The
bet?
Gatorade ones are fun too.
So if it was you, what do you think the Gatorade would be?
For Andy Reid, it's going to be yellow. If it's
Yellow. Wow.
Shanahan's going to be green.
Green.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What makes you think green?
Just because I think Shanahan's a big green guy. He's Shanahan's Irish, so
Okay.
you
All
know
right, that makes
yeah.
sense.
he's a Notre Dame Fighting Irish fan at heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've won. I bet the Gatorade back years ago a few times. I used to do it at a previous employer.
Yep.
And I would always bet orange. Orange was
Okay.
like the
Orange is
common
it's a
one.
common one.
Um,
And then always heads and tails is a good one too.
Heads and tails is good. Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, that's for real degenerates.
Oh, I know, but it's always fun, you know. Just if you're at a big Super Bowl party like you might have on Sunday, you know, we'll
Well, like you said,
see what we can
did
do.
you say national anthem already? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a big one.
over under like a minute and a half.
There's, I want to run down a couple more while we're on the theme here.
Sure.
Because there was
Yeah, these are fun.
just some sick bets here. So
Yeah, they're stupid ones.
these are prop bets on Bet Online, which is the bookie that I used to use. And here's one: the viewership for the Super Bowl, over or under 117 million viewers.
Oh, it's going to be over because of my girl Tay Tay.
Yeah.
Oh, Tay Tay.
I mean,
Yeah.
the matchup itself is good.
Yep.
The teams, and then all the hoopla with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I mean, you get even the most casual of fans come out for the Super Bowl. So I'm thinking over. I think that's an easy one. This one, an homage to where it's being played in Vegas. How many Elvis costumes will be shown live?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. What's the over-under?
The over-under is 2.
Oh, over all day long.
Over, you would
All
think,
day
right?
long.
You could have 2 Elvis guys next to each other. You could have a group of, if you're sitting in the game,
It could be,
you
if
could
we
have
were
a-
there, me and you would be
could
there.
have a row of 5
Exactly.
to 10 Elvises.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty easy. How many times will Olivia Culpo be shown live? I know the name.
So she is dating Christian McCaffrey. So under, they're not going to focus on her,
yeah, because it's gonna be Swift.
especially if Tay Tay's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times will Roger Goodell be shown?
Oh, he's going to be a bunch.
The over-under is 1.5.
Oh, it's going to be way more than that, especially if the game's really good.
They show him in the press.
They're going to
box.
show him in the press box at the beginning of the game, probably halftime, and then if it's a good game in the second half, they're going to show him at least 3 or 4 times. Because they're going to be talking about the future NFL, like where the NFL is going. So, of course, they're going to mention him.
Okay. How about this one? What will Jason Kelsey do first during the CBS broadcast? Man boobs, which is take his shirt off, or shotgun or chug a beer?
Shotgun a beer.
You think?
Yeah. Little insider, I listen to New Heights podcast,
Oh,
and
did he reveal it?
he didn't reveal it, but he's not going to take his shirt off in Vegas. He only took his shirt off because it was Bill's Mafia.
He said that?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Maybe
So-
he can make a lot of money on this.
So there's an insider right there.
So I wonder if neither one happens, it's a push.
It's
and
probably a push.
You get your money back.
He might not do the beer either. He's a respectable dude. I don't think he's going to take a lot away from Travis Kelsey.
But if they win, does he chug a beer? I mean,
Well, the game might be over, so it depends on the
Right, I
stipulations of
know.
that bet.
I know. That's what I don't like is they always the
There's
house
some
always has the
stipulations.
rules on that stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
100%.
But he's definitely not taking his shirt off.
So
100%.
if Kelsey gets a touchdown, does he throw or kick the ball
Oh, hell yeah.
into the crowd?
Yep.
You think
100%.
he doesn't like try to give it to somebody on the
No,
sidelines?
he's
for
going to
Taylor?
throw it. He's just going to, like he always does.
That seems like an easy one to me too.
That's what he always does. And he's going to do a little heart
they're,
thing.
They're both minus 120. So
Yeah, he's definitely going to throw it in. He's going to kick it or throw it. That's what he does every time.
how could this be an actual thing? The number of patties on Andy Reid's post-game burger?
That doesn't make any sense. Let's move past that one.
Okay.
That one was stupid.
All right,
That
yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
I don't even get-
We're going to lose our audience on this one.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
So, primary color of Patrick Mahomes' headband.
It's white.
White?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's white, red, or black.
White.
Think white.
White all day, every day.
What color are they wearing? They're wearing
red, so it's going to be red and
They
white.
are wearing
Yeah.
Dude, I think if they're wearing red jerseys, they're wearing red
Nope.
headband.
White. White it's
Is
going
that
to be.
right? I thought they were wearing white and the 49ers are wearing
No,
red.
they're wearing red.
They are.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn it, I don't like that as much. I
That's
like
why-
the Niners. And
That's why we don't take it.
Okay. There's some other ridiculous ones like primary color of Tony Romo's tie, Super Bowl female viewership. I mean, I don't know how much that stuff is quantified. Vintage. Oh, okay. This is a good one. Vintage video of Ed McCaffrey or Mike Shanahan. I could see them.
Ed
showing,
McCaffrey.
I could see them showing Ed. You know?
Because he's going to have a better game than.
Yeah. I could see that. I think it's either or. I think if they show Ed or Shanahan, you win.
Yeah.
It's just whether they show it or not. What will be said first by Romo and Nance?
Nance is going to say, "Welcome, friends."
No. It's favored or underdog.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, that's a tough one because it all depends on how they open the show and are they talking about.
Yeah, that's going to be
Everybody
interesting.
says the Chiefs are the underdogs. I bet you it's underdog because he's got to be talking about the Chiefs and Mahomes and Swift, and people are classifying them as underdogs.
Yeah, they're
unless
getting a
it's-
lot of heat.
Yeah, I think it's underdog. So
Interesting.
yeah, there's A lot of bets out there.
A lot of fun bets. I mean, this is
Yeah.
when all the degenerates come out of their closets and they put
Yep.
$1,000 on heads or tails, $1,000 on Gatorade, $1,000 on this, $1,000 on that.
What this weekend,
Oh yeah, no. I can't be doing that. My dad's watching.
right? We're just kidding, Mike. He didn't.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
didn't. The mortgage is safe on the house.
Yeah. So
Nice.
we'll finish your beer. I think it's time for another one. What do you think? Where are we at?
I think we could do that.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah, let's play it one more time.
All right, we got another beer coming up your way.
I've had a large mouth pass, bust my line, a couple beautiful girls tell me goodbye. Trucks break down, dogs run off, politicians lie, been fired by the boss. It takes one hand to count the things I can count on. No, there ain't much man that ain't ever let me down. Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. Like diamond rings and football teams have torn this boy apart. Like a neon dream, it just don't know me. The bars in this guitar. And long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart.
All right.
All
Time
right.
for number 2. We're
So
rolling.
staying on the West Coast, this is Seventh Sour or Seventh Sun. It's a brewery in Dunedin, Florida. So I'm going Safety Harbor. I'm going down to Dunedin, and it's a graffiti orange. It's a creamsicle wheat ale, and I'm a really huge fan of creamsicles, so I'm very excited for this one. Everybody can see the art. It's pretty cool. Graffiti orange. It is a, like I said, creamsicle wheat ale. It's doesn't say the percentage real quick. Tampa, Florida. I got no percentage, but we'll see what we can do.
I don't know how they get away with that sometimes, not putting the percentage, but I like the can art.
Oh, look at that flow. Look at that color.
This is an homage to the Bucks, I think, in their creamsicle uniforms.
I think so. Yeah, see,
Good
I
pour?
think the cup's too small.
You got a little. No, well, that's a taller than average beer, I think,
It's okay.
compared to.
The cups in the Og, they hold them. Oof. That's a little rough.
Is it?
Oof.
Yeah,
Oof.
there's not much left in there, is it?
Hold on. Let me shake this one around because that was a little rough.
Really? I thought you were gonna say it was delicious, like a dessert, like a.
So I don't know if this is a bad batch, but it tastes sour, like too much orange. And yeah, this is a 7.0. Ooh, this is rough.
That's low.
Tell me what you think. Tell me you think this is sour.
That's low.
Give it a sip because I think this is maybe might be a bad batch. That tastes really, really orangey and really, really soury, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
That could be a
There's not
bad
much-
batch.
There's not much creamsicle in there.
Oof, that's rough. I'm not gonna pour it out, but I'll drink it.
does
But that's
taste
rough.
It tastes a little sour and flat. You're right. There's
Oof.
not much punch in there with the
Oof.
creamsicle. Don't drink
Ugh.
it if you don't. If it ain't good.
No, I'm gonna drink it.
I've
Ugh.
had my fair share that I didn't
No.
finish the whole thing.
No,
because
we're gonna
they-
drink it.
They weren't great, but
Yeah, that's rough.
honest review. We
Oof.
don't pull any punches on this
Oof.
show. We are honest with our reviews. They're
Seventh Sun
fair.
too. I've been there before too with the Dolinator, Chris Dolan, friend of the show,
Okay.
and it's supposed to be wheat milk shower aged on vanilla beans and orange zest. And
That aged like something I don't even want to say on this show because it's a family friendly show. But
it's
that's
not good.
No,
Not good.
I did not.
Not good.
care for it either.
So it's definitely
7-0 was generous. That was
yeah. It was definitely yeah.
okay.
I think it's bad. So
All right.
if I take a hiatus again, you'll know why.
So I'm going to go with one here. Again, there's a lot of meaning to my beers. Haven't figured that out yet. I did the dry January,
Yeah, yeah.
and ran through a couple non-alcoholic beers.
There's meanings to my beer too.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
there's
yeah.
a lot of meaning for my beers.
I know, I get it.
Probably more than people care, but I picked this one because one of the non-alcoholic beers I had was Bitburg.
Yeah.
Brewery, Bitburger.
Oh, you found them again?
And this is another one. This actually has alcohol in it. This
Nice.
is an alcoholic Bitburger, so it must be a big brewery over in Germany. This is a fest beer, is what they call it.
Okay.
And I picked it just because of where it's from. Looking at the alcohol content, 6.2 is the alcohol content. But again, same brewery that I've tried before. And if you remember, I liked their non-alcoholic beer.
You did.
So I figured I might like this one as well. And I'm going to give it a shot. So it wasn't a twist off, so we had to get the opener in there. We'll see what we got.
Look at you. I wonder if it's because the pressure of me being here that you got a nice pour.
Look at that.
Chris Dolan's going to love this.
Look at that.
Looks good.
Yeah, I mean, when you say that color, like I like to hold it up to the light. Like it looks
Yeah.
pretty amber in color, right? So we'll see. I got to look at our notes to see what I gave the non-alcoholic, but I think it was pretty
I
strong.
think it was like an 8 something.
Yeah, I think this one, I got high hopes for it. So. Ooh.
What kind of notes you got?
It's good, but it's very malty. It's got a malt
Okay.
taste to it that I wasn't expecting because it doesn't really fest beer. You see, I don't. It's got a German pretzel on it. I don't know. I wasn't expecting maltiness. It's not bad, but it's powerful.
I like it.
You tell me what you think of this. I'm not going to let your taste influence my
Let's see.
rating. I already got it, but I want you tell me if you taste that malty.
Oh, that punch you right in the face.
Right?
Punches
Yeah.
you right in the face.
It's maltiness. So I'm giving my rating.
I guess we should have tried the other first beers too. We'll try them for the next two also.
What?
Our first beers, we probably should have tried each other's.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll do them for the next
This
one.
is all ad hoc. None
Yeah.
of this is scripted.
Here.
This is as legit raw of a show as you'll ever find out there.
Yep.
This one, thinking, I got to go a tinge lower than the sour
Okay.
because this surprised me with the maltiness. So I'm going to go 7-8.
Ooh, that's okay.
It didn't quite make it to the 8s for me because that maltiness, like, it kind of surprised me. They don't warn you about that. It's not what I was expecting, but
Yep.
it's a good beer. I'll go 7-8.
Nice.
So,
So I think staying on the NFL side, I think we should talk about the awards that happened last night.
let's do it.
So bravo to Greg. He called the MVP, Lamar Jackson. I mean, I think that was a pretty unanimous call. I mean, I know you called it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I think who else do you think should have won? I mean, maybe McCaffrey would have been close second.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was probably the they don't announce the runner-ups, right? They don't announce the number of votes per.
They may. Let's see.
I think he probably was the.
All right,
second
so
choice.
here we go.
Um,
So it went Jackson, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott was second, McCaffrey was third, and Brock Purdy was fourth. But it says Josh Allen took the only other first place votes and was fifth overall.
wow, so he got a couple first place votes.
Yeah, so it went Dak. It went Jackson, Dak, Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, and Josh Allen. So those were the tops. But
I guess I would have picked McCaffrey as the second.
So would have I.
I'm not surprised that Lamar won. He, despite what happened in the conference championship, regular season, you can't argue with what they did. So I think that's deserved.
Yeah.
I really do. I don't think McCaffrey would have been my second choice. He was pretty good all year long. He missed 1 or 2 games, 3 games, injury or something like that. But he was, when he was healthy, he's been, I think, second to Lamar. And then Josh Allen had a great second half of the year when they went on that run.
Yeah,
but,
we talked about
he was
him,
pretty
yeah.
mediocre.
it was.
He looked like he wasn't that great in the beginning. And then Dak had a good year, yeah, but I I don't know if it was amazing. So I think the right guy won.
I think so too. And
Yeah.
interesting stat on him: he's the youngest quarterback to win the NFL MVP twice, passing Brett Favre by 73 days.
Wow.
So yeah, he was youngest winner.
26,
27 years old.
27.
Yep. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then, moving right along, the coach of the year, they gave it to Kevin Stefanski of the Browns.
Okay.
I mean, I think I would have given it to Dan Campbell. I don't know about your thoughts, but I would have given it to Dan Campbell just because of all the accolades that the Lions have done. I mean, think about it. The first playoff win since 91, first playoffs since, 2005, I think.
I think that, yeah, I agree with you.
But then it goes the other way too, because Stefanski was down to his fourth quarterback, and we talked about Joe Flacco. We talked about him. I mean, he was a lot of my picks for upsets this year in our picks.
Yeah, I think the Browns and that resurgence is more Flacco than it is the coach. That guy's been around a long time. He's got a lot of experience. I think he showed that. And honestly, when they got walloped in the divisional round, I think that was him just running out of gas. Running out of miracles.
We talked about that. Yeah.
So I think if it wasn't who won the award, my runner up would be actually D'Amico Ryan from
Oh yeah.
I mean,
they did. I mean, last year they won 3 games, 4
Right.
games, and then they had a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback. We talked about the records he did.
New coach, new quarterback. You never know what you're getting with that equation.
Very true. Very true.
I would consider him.
Very true.
But I think the winner was rightful. I mean, can't argue with it.
Yep. Then moving right along, the comeback player of the year, they said Joe Flacco. I mean, that made a little bit of sense, but
Yeah.
Friends of the show, Boomer and Gio, they don't know it yet, but they are. I mean, it should have been DeMar Hamlin. I mean, the dude pretty much died on the field, and he's able to play. I would have given it to DeMar Hamlin.
When I saw that award, I don't know if I was a little glad that they gave it to Flacco, because I feel like sometimes society or whoever, we as people, we feel obligated to give to the guy who, I think almost everybody saw what happened to Hamlin over a year ago.
Yep.
Like it was a Monday night game. It was late in the year. It was 2 great teams.
Yep.
So there was a huge audience.
Playoff fantasy football players too. Yeah.
Right. So when you see that, it sticks in your brain, and when the guy comes back, it almost seems obligatory that you give it to that guy, even if he didn't play. And that's the thing. Like, I don't think he even returned to action in game 1 this year, right?
No, he didn't play for like a couple games, but still, I mean, that's still an accomplishment to come back.
Very much. Very much.
Yeah.
I don't want to diminish it. I think he's absolutely deserving. It is close to a miracle, but I think surprise factor. Hamlin's young. I think no one expected
Joe Flacco.
Hamlin. No one expected Hamlin to suffer what he suffered. It's such a freak thing.
True.
Could happen to anybody. But he's young and he's back on the field. He's in prime shape of his life. So it's great. He's on his. I hope he has a wonderful career. With Flacco, the dude was on a couch somewhere. Like he's older than we are, and for him to come and have the success he had, sort of out of nowhere, when, like you said, he was their 4th quarterback. I think the Browns wouldn't have had the success they had if he didn't come in and just start playing lights out. So I kind of like him with that. But I mean,
I could see
either guy. Hamlin's equally deserving, in my opinion.
And this next one's really peculiar to me. The offensive player of the year was McCaffrey. I mean, I think it should have been Lamar Jackson too. Why not make Lamar Jackson offensive player of the year, but then make him MVP, but then make MVP Lamar Jackson, and then offensive player of the year McCaffrey?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of peculiar. That's kind of a weird award. I mean,
you would think
both would get both,
right?
Because they're both offensive players.
Yeah, I could see it being Lamar. My thought too was possibly Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill.
He exploded for 2/3 of the season, maybe more than that,
until he got hurt. Yeah,
right. To me, that's the competition with McCaffrey. But McCaffrey had such a good. I mean, to your point, it kind of does make sense.
It's kind of a moot point.
Why wouldn't it be Lamar? But between those 3, I think it's whoever gets the most votes. Sometimes, and I don't want to derail this too much, but like, do you think it's a bit of a popularity contest?
I mean, I would say yes and no. I mean, yes, it kind of is, but no, because I mean the facts speak for themselves.
Yeah, they should anyway, right?
I mean, McCaffrey. That's probably why they gave it to him. They probably said because you didn't get the MVP, we're going to give you the Offensive Player of the Award. So I think if McCaffrey would have got the MVP, I bet Lamar Jackson would have got the offensive.
Spread the love.
Yeah.
I guess,
It just is a moot point. It's like, why wouldn't he be the MVP and the offensive player? Because they're both offenses. But this next one, defensive player of the year, Myles Garrett. I mean, that's hands down, obviously correct.
Yeah.
That dude's a freaking freak of nature.
He was pretty dominant.
He's a freak of nature. I mean, the only person I think would be Micah Parsons, but everybody knows Micah Parsons and the Cowboys. They kind of, shit the bed. Part of my Frank.
Yeah.
But they, towards the end of the year,
Mhm.
he got double teamed and he couldn't answer.
Yeah.
And Myles Garrett is just a freak of nature.
He is. Yeah. He's a dominant player. He's at the peak of his career right now.
Oh yeah.
He can kind of do what he wants out there. So that's deserved.
And the last two awards, Rookie of the Year, they both came from the Texans, which is, we've talked about them all year long. CJ Stroud and Will Anderson. I mean, CJ Stroud came out of a cannon. I mean, he looks like the real deal. We spoke about him for the playoffs, and we spoke about him when they won the division. I mean, he's been playing his butt off, and I think he deserves it. And Will Anderson, he was also a top 5 pick out of Alabama. I think he deserves it as well.
I agree. I mean, Anderson, I didn't know too much about him, but you saw what he did this year.
Yeah, he's a stud.
That's what made the Texans so great, I think, is that they were good on both sides of the ball. Stroud was just kind of an offensive phenom, but Anderson, they held up their end of the bargain on the defensive side of things. But yeah, you can't really argue with that. Those guys had phenomenal seasons, and I'm interested to see what they do. We talked about it a show or two ago. Like that division this year, I think seemed like it was the Jags to lose, and they did. And now going into next year, I honestly, sitting here at this point, I think I'd give the edge to Houston.
I mean, I do too.
Because of Stroud and their coach and Anderson and Singletary, all those guys. I think I'd give the edge to Houston. And to me, it's Houston, and then Jags, Indy might be on the same level, and then I think Tennessee is a tier below.
Well, my thoughts on Jacksonville, so.
No,
we know. I think it goes Houston.
We can spend a whole show.
We can spend a whole show.
How do you feel about
We can
the
get my
Jags?
dad on there too. He'll tell you all about the Jaguars. We know about that living in.
Yeah, but if I open up that closet, isn't there like an array of Jags?
Oh no, not in St. Augustine, Florida, my friend. We're in Northeast Florida, but all we hear about is Jags this, Jags
There's no
that.
Maurice Jones-Drew in there.
No,
and,
sir. No, sir.
Who's my boy back in the day?
No, sir.
Fred Taylor.
No, sir.
Mark
No, sir.
Cordell.
No, sir.
I'm throwing a couple Jags out there.
Well, that's why you're a Jags fan.
No.
So a couple other things from last night. Cameron Hayward, he won the Walter NFL Player Man of the Year.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that goes without saying. I mean, everybody knows about Cameron Hayward.
Steelers, right?
Yeah, Steelers defensive end. I mean, that's a pretty cool award. A couple years ago, Whitworth won. Andrew Whitworth, he's a really good player. A couple years ago, Calais Campbell won. So it just really goes. It shows that these dudes are more than just players. They go out in the community and they put their best foot forward, and they really mean it too. They're not just going out there to, sign babies and shake hands. They really want to make a difference.
Sign babies, kiss babies.
Yeah, same difference.
Yeah.
Same difference.
No,
So it's really cool. I think that's a really cool award. Because seeing the players and not like seeing them, but seeing the commercials, these guys really care. They want to be called NFL Player of the Year,
I think
Man of the Year. So it's really cool. And one more thing I want to touch on too. They announced the Hall of Fame class for 2024. I want to get your thoughts on this one. Looks like Dwight Freeney, Devin Hester, Andre Johnson, Julius Peppers, Patrick Willis, Randy Gradishier, and Steve McMichael. They're going to be inducted. I mean, what are your thoughts on those guys? I think hands down, the guys that we know, I mean, the top 5, I mean, we know all about them. We're 36, 37. That was, we watched their whole career.
Run it back for me for a minute. So I heard Andre Johnson.
Yep. So Andre Johnson.
Him being very dominant on the Texans.
Yep.
He had a couple of years where he was the best receiver in the league.
More than a couple of years, probably 4 or 5.
Okay.
He was a beast.
That where I was going with that, because I felt like he's not alone. There's guys over the decades, and when you get to be our age, we've seen decades of football, but there's guys that have stretch of dominance, and then they seem like they fall off. Like I thought it was 2 to 3, maybe 4 years where he was top, but then they kind of just fall off for whatever reason. But if you're saying, you think it was more 4 or 5, 6
Oh, no, he was a
years,
stud.
Yeah, okay. I feel better about that then. That makes sense.
And then Dwight Freeney, we watched his career the whole.
Colts
Yep.
forever. Yeah, that guy. And that's why, not the only reason, but when the Colts, it's hard to win a Super Bowl, right? And when the Colts won, 06, I think, I want to say Freeney was on that team. And obviously they had Manning, they had a couple of receivers, but on the defensive side of the ball, Freeney was a monster. He could just do what he wanted he was defensive end, right? He was just that I think more than a bull rusher, I think he was the guy with the swim move. He was very, if I remember correctly, he was very agile. He was fit, he was quick, and obviously powerful, but he was just a sack machine. So no arguments with that one. Who else?
Going back to Andre Johnson real quick, I just want to read off his stats. He played in the league for 13 years. So 7 of those 13 years, he went over 1,100 yards receiving.
Okay.
And he had 70 touchdowns in 13 years. And the other years, he was really close to 1,000. So he had a really good career. I think that he was warranted of the Hall of Fame.
Sure.
I watched him a lot. And a lot of these guys, like I said, starting off, we watched the whole career being our age. But, Devin Hester, hands down. I mean, kick returner, punt returner.
That guy,
he's a stud.
He kind of revolutionized.
He really did.
The punt return, kick return game. Before him, there was a guy that I sort of synonymized.
Dante Hall?
Dante Hall. You see the one? There was maybe it was Dante.
Dante Hall played for the Chiefs.
There was a couple guys. Maybe it was Hall.
And then Westbrook with the Eagles.
Yeah, maybe it might have been. It might have been Hall. It would take me a minute to go back and think of it, but it was that group. It was Hester, Hall, those guys who they were breaking records. Like returning.
Chris McAllister too with the Ravens. Remember Chris McAllister?
Yeah, yep.
I remember playing Madden. He had 100 speed every single year.
Darren Sproles did a lot of that.
Darren
stuff
Sproles did too. Yep.
Those guys. So yeah, I mean, I think that's completely warranted. Hester so far, Johnson, Hester, and Freeney. Yeah.
And then Julius Peppers. I mean, Julius Peppers was a freak.
Panthers.
A freak, and the Bears.
And the Bears. Yeah.
Freak amongst men.
Yeah.
I mean, he played NCAA basketball at North Carolina, which is a top Division I basketball team. Yes. Wow. So he played football and basketball there, and then he just decided to go straight on football, and he was a stud with the Panthers.
Wow.
And then a stud with the Bears.
Yeah.
So I think, growing up, Jeff Creason, friend of the show, we used to play with Madden, play a little couple spin move, sack every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah.
And then the last guy that we know, Patrick Willis. I mean, he 49ers. He cut his career short.
Yeah.
He only played 10 years, but each year I think he had over 100 tackles.
Yeah.
And so he's warranted of it.
He was linebacker, right?
Linebacker, 52. Yeah. He retired early. I think, like I said, I didn't want to play. He played like 10 years. He had 100 tackles every single year.
So that's a class right there.
It's a great class.
I don't think you can debate much about it. That every year, it seems like they induct a guy, maybe that was on the fringe, maybe an older guy that was before our time that I just don't really know. But this class right here, we just ran it down. There's a case to be made for all of them. I think that's a really strong class. And I say this because, and this isn't just NFL specific, but I hate when fringe guys get inducted into the Hall of Fame because I feel like it dilutes and waters down the accomplishment. Like I'm the biggest hockey fan that there is out there. That's my favorite sport, even more so than the NFL, which I love. And I sometimes just hate when guys in the NHL get inducted because I'm like, were they really great? Were they Hall of Fame worthy?
Yeah.
And that's again not NHL specific, but all sports. I hate when they let guys in just for the sake of letting guys in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if a year goes by and no one gets inducted. You got to be truly great. You have to be amazing, setting records, changing the game. And all those guys, they were really, really the best at their position at the time. I mean, Freeney was the best defensive end.
Stud.
And
Hester, stud, returner.
But,
Andre Johnson, Julius Peppers.
The Panthers.
Julius Peppers.
Yeah. Peppers and Freeney were like the
studs.
Best defensive ends when they played.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It goes off your stat, too. I mean, Baseball Hall of Fame is the same way, too. I think that they're very stringent on who they let in. And I love that. And I love that. I mean, my dad watching right now, I mean, he'll tell you, that none of those guys should be in that are touched with steroids, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I will tell you one guy that needs to be in is Pete Rose. I mean, look at Pete Rose's stats. He had the most hits. I looked it up last week when I was traveling in Dallas. He had the most hits. He has the most starts at 5 positions, over 500 at each. I mean, the guy should be in there because
So, I
it's
don't
just.
think that's like morbid, but like Pete's got to be 80, right?
Oh,
Close to it.
he's up there. Let's see. Let's look him up real quick.
I'm just thinking, like, poor Pete. I don't want to say poor Pete. I don't feel too bad for him because he did stuff that was illegal at the time. But what could he be thinking now that we talk about the Hard Rock? Gambling's legal in Florida. Gambling's legal all over the place. What could he possibly be thinking knowing that gambling is not only legal, but it's encouraged? It's
Yeah.
on all commercials. All
82 years old.
It's 82. There you go. I knew he was in the 80s. So poor Pete. I hope he's healthy. But, the guy is unfortunately probably going to live his life having never made it into the Hall of Fame, despite setting records, and being top of his class in a lot of areas. And I get why people have a problem with it, but I think sometimes
Stats speak for themselves. I mean,
stats speak for themselves, and I think you have to adapt to changes. Like, he did something that was illegal at the time, but you've now changed it and it's legal. Okay, so like betting on sports is not only legal but encouraged.
no, I get it. I know it's
You can't turn on the TV without seeing an ad, and I don't know, for him to be chastised for
something he did.
something like that, and to leave him out, it's unfortunate.
It is, but I think I'm glad that we touched on the awards.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I want to stick on that. You've got an empty glass. Are you thirsty again? You want to do one more? Or do you want to go?
Hey man, we got 2 left.
Want to do one more?
Sure.
Okay. All right. We got. We're rolling for the beers here. I like this. All right. Let's.
How long are we going for?
What?
How long are we going for?
This has been an hour show.
I like it.
We got another good
Let's do
30
it.
minutes or
Let's
so.
do it.
Running
Let's
time
do
with
it.
it, so let's get another beer going here.
I've had a large mouth pass, bus smile, and a couple beautiful girls tell me goodbye. Trucks break down, dogs run off, politicians lie, been fired by the boss. It takes one hand to count the things I can count on. No, there ain't much man that ain't ever let me down. Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. Like diamond rings and football teams have torn this boy apart. Like a neon dream, it just don't know me. The bars in this guitar. And long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart.
All right,
All right.
back at it.
Number 3, man. We're rolling through these.
It's a lot of fun.
Trying to see which one I like. That was yours. All right. I'm gonna go.
Leave a good one for the last one. Don't forget.
Yeah. Man, it could be. Both of them are gonna be good. I'm gonna go with this one right now. This is a good pick.
Okay.
Pretty simple can art with this one. It's from Upslope Brewing Company. It's
Okay.
in Boulder, Colorado.
Okay.
It's a craft lager. I like
Okay.
lagers, and the description is bright, fresh, and easy. So
Okay.
that's exactly why I picked it. I'm thinking, you know what? I like to go off the wall with some beers, some sours.
Yep.
This one should be right down the middle of the road. Anybody can drink it. The ingredients were kind of interesting because it's from Colorado. It says the ingredients are snow melt, malt,
Whoa.
sterling hops,
Whoa.
and lager yeast.
Whoa.
And the specs say it's handcrafted aluminum can, it's portable, it's recyclable, it's good. So craft lager, man, from Upslope Brewing Company. I'm excited to try this
It
one.
sounds cool. Yeah.
I'm hoping I like beers to just be true to what they say on the can. You
Yeah,
know,
me
I don't
too.
like that last one. It didn't say anything about maltiness, but it was. So this one I'm hoping is a traditional lager, and we'll see if it actually is. Dude, I'm 3 for 3 on my pours tonight. I mean, look.
I guess I should be in person more often.
Look at this.
I should be in person more often.
Look at this. The guy gives me shit so often, but I mean, that's a 1-inch head of foam.
Because I'm here. It's because I'm here.
mean,
It's because I'm here.
This is that smells like what a lager should smell like. I think
Okay.
I really like this
Okay.
one.
Let me
This
see
is
the
gonna be
can.
Crisp. This is gonna be crisp. Look at that. I mean, this is a creamsicle can, doesn't it? I mean,
It should. I mean, hopefully it's not stale.
So
Nice.
Upslope Brewing.
Okay.
What's the alcohol?
4.8.
4.8. Okay.
Yeah, I like it.
Ready? Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got a little bit of there's a distinct flavor that I can't. Let me see the can. I can't put my finger on it.
It's probably that.
Hang on. There's something in there that's distinct in a good way. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Okay.
Maybe it's just it's really crisp. It says bright, fresh, easy. That's a great description. Dude, I'm happy about this one. This is exactly what they said on the can.
Okay.
That's
Cool.
exactly what I was expecting.
Nice.
I'm going high on this one.
Okay.
I mean, that's a beer you go to the bar and order, and you can drink that in the winter now. It's still winter time, but you can drink that in the summer when you want something refreshing.
Mhm.
I'm going 8.3.
I like
I'm
it.
going 8.3.
I like it.
That's a good beer.
I like it.
Upslope Craft Lager. I mean, that's a solid beer.
Okay. So I got Red Bug Red. It's from Oviedo Brewing Company. It's an American red ale. It's close to Orlando, Oviedo, and it is a 5.3% alcohol.
Okay.
Everybody can see the artwork. It's got a red beetle on there, so that's kind of cool. Red Bug Red. So it's actually really funny. I was going into Total Wine tonight, and I saw the one that Greg did probably week 3. It was the Irish Red Ale, and I wanted to try that one, but I'm like, we already did that one, so I want to do a red ale. So that's why I
I'm
picked
glad
this one.
you didn't, but I know when you try it, I think you'll like it. That was a good one. Look at that color.
Look how red
Holy
this is.
Man.
Holy moly.
Dude, you got like the
That's
rainbow
red as
going
can
on
be.
with your beers tonight. They are the color of the rainbow.
That is red as can be. So it smells very hoppy and very malty. Wow. So that's your typical red ale. And what I mean by that is it's got hops, it's got malt, and it's got a little bit of barley, but it's got a nice flavor, sweetness. I'm going to go 8.5.
8.5. Okay.
That's a delicious beer.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Now, I was thinking, I think I've told you,
It's a very
when
good
it
beer.
comes to Irish beer, I'm a pretty big Killian's fan.
Oh, everybody loves Killian's Irish Red.
Where would you put that?
This is probably right below Killian's Irish Red.
Okay.
Killian's Irish Red is a delicious beer.
Yeah.
It's not out a lot. Like people can't find it a lot. You gotta probably go to a liquor store because it's not in like your local Publix, but it's very delicious.
Yeah.
And they got a really cool logo too. So very, very cool. But I think let's go to the head coaches, the new head coaches in the NFL.
Yeah, I wanted to run that down real quick.
So there's a bad stat for me. I went 0 for
Well,
6, I guess, right?
you got to keep me honest. I knew you didn't have a great track record, but
Yeah.
I'm going to run them down. You tell me where they went, and if you're surprised, if you think they're
I got them right here. You got all of them?
okay. Yeah, so I got yours.
Okay.
Carolina, you had Bobby Slowick going there.
Carolina, they got Dave Canellis, the offensive coordinator from the Bucks.
Yeah, okay. Now, I guess, do you think that's a good move, Canellis? That leaves a little bit of a void from the Bucks. They had a pretty good offensive year with Baker, so I guess it's not too much of a surprise. Do you think it's a good fit? And I guess, why do you think they passed on Slowick?
So I don't know why they passed on Slowick, because I remember when I made my prediction, Slowick worked with CJ Stroud this past year, and I figured he was going to want to work with Bryce Young, who was also a young quarterback. But I think Canellis, he's only 42 years old. He's a young coach, and I think he might do pretty well, because the years before that, he was in Seattle and worked with Geno Smith. So he knows how to turn a career around, and maybe he's going to use that experience with Geno Smith and then put it with Bryce Young. So I think it's going to be a pretty good hire. I mean, like I said, he's 42 years old, younger guy, and he just worked with Baker. So look at Baker's year. I mean, Baker
Yeah.
turned his
Yeah,
career
he did.
around almost. You know,
Yeah, he had a very good
I've
year.
been reading the articles. He's going to get $35 million guaranteed.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think?
About the coaching hire? Or,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really sure. It's just a world I don't really know. I look at it in both ways. Like, I look at sometimes coaches. It's the old adage: coaches coach, players play. Sometimes I think coaches get the raw end of the deal.
Yeah.
But at
So
the
do
same time, I think you need to hold someone accountable. If the players aren't performing, who are you going to look to? So I'm not really sure what to make of it, but I do know the reason you mentioned, like Canales had a good year with the Bucks. So
Yeah.
I think giving him the opportunity to be a head coach somewhere, it's not all that surprising. I think it's a good move.
Yeah.
They got a young quarterback, so that's
what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's I think what a lot of coaches look for is a guy that they can develop and groom.
Yeah.
And they can probably do that. So
For sure.
Makes sense. What's the next one you got?
So I got the top, ranking the top ones.
Okay, well, let me go to yours. So
yeah.
You had the Redskins Commanders. You thought they were promoting Eric Bieniemy.
So that's a really weird situation.
Yep.
He's not even with the team anymore.
Yeah.
They let him go. And they got Dan Quinn from the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And this one is really, really mind-boggling because, as everybody knows, Dan Quinn, his last head coaching job was with the Falcons. And everybody knows what happened in Super Bowl 51 when they were up 28-3 against the Patriots. And everybody knows what happened.
Yeah.
But then again, he went to Dallas, and he did pretty good with the defense in Dallas. He was defense coordinator. So I think it's a decent hire. I would have promoted within with Eric Bieniemy. The only reason why I say that is because Sam Howell, he's a young and up-and-coming young quarterback. I don't know if this means that Sam Howell's out and they're going to go towards your boy Caleb Williams or Drake May. But Sam Howell is still young. That's why I would have hired within Eric Bieniemy. I mean, look at his track record. I mean, he had Pat Mahomes for 4 years. Before that, he was the quarterback coach, still with Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
That's why I thought he was going to get promoted within.
Yeah. That is a good track record. And
he's no longer with the team. I mean, they told him pretty much to haul ass.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about. I don't like it. But it is what it is.
Well, here's something, and I don't want to go too much into the weeds here, but I think it's worth considering. We know the owner of the team for a long time was Dan Snyder, right?
Yep.
He's gone now.
Mm-hmm.
And now I bring this up because the new owner is the owner of my favorite team,
Josh Harris.
Do you think the owners had any influence? Maybe trying to bring in a guy that was – I mean, Bieniemy has a track record, but Quinn, I think, has a little more of a track record. He's been a head coach before.
Yeah.
Do you think the owners said, hey, we got to bring in a name. We got to bring in a guy who's been a coach before? That's the only thing I can think of. Because
I mean, that's
a situation.
That is a good point to bring up because, that makes sense. I mean,
that's what I'm thinking. New owners, and that's where it starts from.
Yeah.
When you think of hierarchy of the team, there's no other higher point than the new owner, Harris.
True.
And I'm just wondering if he said
maybe new blood.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good way to put it. I mean, like I said, he wasn't horrible with the Falcons. I mean, the Falcons made one Super Bowl before then with Reeves, Dan Reeves. I mean, before that, I mean, they were nobody, and look at them now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, they could be good next year. I mean, new coach, shake things up. The next one you had was the Falcons, and you thought the hood champ, Mr. Belichick, was going there. And we all know he's not going anywhere.
No,
he's. I got some thoughts on that at the very end.
Well, so do I.
So do I. Too. But they didn't select Belichick. They selected
Raheem Morris.
Yeah. And we know Raheem. I know Raheem from his time with the Bucks.
Yes.
Local dude. I'm a little surprised of it. I just hadn't heard his name too much, but where he was he defensive coordinator for someone or
St. Louis or whatever, Los Angeles. The Rams.
He coordinated, right? Yeah. Okay, that's what.
So he had a good, he won the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Yeah, I didn't realize exactly who he was with. I knew he was still in the league somewhere, but I didn't know his position. I just hadn't heard his name much, but it kind of makes sense now. I mean, it's a good opportunity for him.
He's young.
Yeah, he's young. He's, from what I've heard, he's very well liked.
Oh yeah,
I think he's
Players
got a
coach.
great reputation by the players, and I think other staff. I think he's just a genuinely likable guy.
so do I.
So I'm happy for him. I think he could take the team places. I wonder more about their talent. I think when you look at what they've had at
They need a quarterback.
Ritter, yeah.
They need a quarterback is what they
You
need.
know, Robinson looks like he could be their stud running back. I don't know what they're doing at receiver. Who's the tight end? What's his
Oh,
name?
Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, Pitts should be on the up and
They
up.
got Drake London.
Yeah, I think if they solidify some of that stuff, Raheem could be the answer. Time will tell, but
He could be.
it's a good hire.
I mean, he's young, 47 years old.
Yeah,
He's you know, the reason why, and I've listened to a lot of you know, Boomer and Geo. I've read a lot of articles. They were saying the reason why Bill Belichick did not get that job is because they didn't want to put everything towards what he wanted.
Yeah.
So apparently, Bill Belichick is going to have it his way or the highway. And apparently, Arthur Blank, who's the owner of the Falcons, did not want to give him his way or the highway.
yeah,
He wanted it to be a two-way street. And Bill Belichick said, "I want it this way, or you're not going to hire me."
yeah.
I mean, there was an article that Rich McKay, who used to be the general manager of the Buccaneers, they moved him to another side of the building when Bill Belichick came in because Bill Belichick wanted to do it his way, and Rich McKay wanted to do it his way.
Yeah.
McKay's still with the team, obviously, but that's why I don't think he got hired ultimately.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've heard a lot of the same thing.
Yeah.
And it only makes sense that a guy like Belichick, it's still, you can't teach an old dog new tricks things, right? I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. At this stage in his career,
I mean, the back of his head, he's going for that record.
exactly.
Yeah.
The guy's 10, 15 wins away from the most wins of
Yep.
any coach all time.
Yep.
He ain't changing anything.
Yeah, he ain't changing nothing.
The guy is waking up in the morning the time he
Yep.
wants to wake up. He's coaching the way he
Yep.
wants to coach.
Yep.
He ain't doing.
You don't like
nothing
it? See you later.
Yeah, bye. Now,
Yeah.
I completely agree with you, and I wanted to save this to the end, but we're talking about it. I think you're right. Like, part of it is if he doesn't get his way, you know, it's not a good fit. But in that same vein, we keep hearing about, or at least I've heard, all these different potential destinations for Belichick, and I feel like the sentiment is, you know, maybe nobody wants him. Like, oh, this team passed on him. This team passed on him. This team passed on. And a lot of the thought is teams are going younger in age. They want a younger coach closer to the age of players to relate to them. That may be true. But I'm sitting here thinking kind of what you alluded to. Like, Belichick wants his own way. How much do we really know about this? Like, you and I, we don't know any of this stuff. But
No.
even the insiders, Schefter, all these other guys that are close to the league, do they even know? For all we know, and they know, maybe Belichick passed on it, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
Putty never says that. The
True.
team certainly won't say
True.
that. But maybe he interviewed and he said, "You know what? Nah, I'm good."
I mean, he
Maybe
could have. He
passed
could have.
on it. You know,
He could have.
when you and I interview
Yeah.
for a job, you know, we want the job, but we
But
can
do we
easily
not
say,
want it?
"No,
Yeah.
No, nah, I'm good. You know what?
That's a good way to
After
put
I
it.
talk to you, I don't know about it.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just thought about it because
Interesting.
for the reasons you mentioned. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got to go into a place that he wants to be in. So maybe it's not the team that says adios.
Yeah.
Maybe he does. But last one I had on my list that you picked was Seahawks.
Oof.
Mike
Mike
Johnson from the Lions.
Mike McDonald, and this makes me feel like an idiot too, because this dude is 36 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm 36 years old.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know why they went with him. I would have done Ben Johnson. I mean,
Yeah.
Mike McDonald, I mean, he came from the Ravens. You can see what he did with the Ravens defense. I mean, he made it one of the best pass rushing groups. So maybe it's good for them. But I just really thought Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator from the Titans, I thought that, you know, he was going to come in and do good things with Geno Smith and go from there.
Now, Ben Johnson, isn't that kind of along the lines of what I just mentioned? Like, didn't he turn them down? He decided to stay with the Lions, right?
Yeah, or Lions, not Texans. Yeah, Lions. He did. Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that's.
I mean, yeah.
You know, I mean, it's nothing. Seahawks were probably interviewing him, I think, and he said, "You know what?
I'll stay.
Don't love the job. Yeah, I'm going to stay." And
Yeah.
I give him a lot of credit because I feel like you mentioned the age. There's so many opportunities for young
Mhm.
guys. Teams and GMs seem to bring in these young coaches because it's like a sexy hire. And if you're that young, why wouldn't you? Of course, it's appetizing. You want to take that job. So I give Johnson all the credit in the world to not be enticed and lured by that. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Harbaugh, what?
Oh, no. I was going to go on one of the hires.
Oh, well, yeah, I was 100% wrong on this one. Now, that's a good segue. I'm glad I wasn't going to touch on that, but I'm glad you did. Yeah, Dan's showing me now that one of the coaches, I was wrong. I thought Harbaugh was staying, and we took a week and a half off, so we really haven't talked about this much. But obviously, he's coming aboard. It's a good fit. I think of all the teams, where he's ending up with the Chargers makes sense. I did think he was going to stay put, but he's back in the NFL, and we'll see what he does.
We'll see what happens in Michigan. Like I said a couple weeks ago,
what did you say, Michigan?
that he has a lot of stuff coming.
I see.
A lot of stuff is coming in Michigan.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff is coming.
Well, I mean,
a lot of stuff is coming. Scumbag award.
You really think that's still?
Yeah.
What would that mean for the Chargers if he gets what?
Nothing for him. That's why he left. He's scot-free.
I guess. I mean,
That's a typical scumbag move.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Typical scumbag move of what Jim Harbaugh did.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Just let you know.
Now, I guess I wasn't really looking at it that way. That I guess the legalities of it is a reason for him to have left. I wasn't really thinking about it in those terms.
Well, I was.
Yeah, you were, and I wasn't. Makes a little more sense now. I still think I think the competitiveness. If I win a championship, I would run it back. Right? That's just me. But
your last name's not Harbaugh either.
I know it's not. It's interesting having him and John in the league again.
I know.
I mean, because they faced off.
2002 or 2012.
12, 14, something.
Yeah, in New Orleans. Yeah. It was the blackout.
The Harbaugh Bowl.
Yeah.
Bowl. Yeah.
The blackout in New Orleans.
It did go black. That's right. In the middle of the Super Bowl, the lights went out.
Yep.
Yeah, that was wild. So yeah, you were 100% right on that. He was going NFL. I didn't see it.
Yep. A couple other ones I wanted to touch on is Gerard Mayo with the Patriots. I think that's a really good hire. I mean, he was a first-round draft pick, linebacker out of Tennessee. He played really good NFL career. And, I think the Patriots are turning another leaf by going by him. I know they when he made the press conference, he was saying that he wanted to make it all about being the first black coach in NFL or Patriot history. And I don't think that needs to happen because he's that good of a coach. He's that good of a player. I think he's going to be really good for the Patriots. And another one we didn't touch on was Antonio Pierce. I mean, he's a Giant legend, middle linebacker. I think that was a great job with the Raiders retaining him.
Yeah, I like Pierce.
I like Pierce too. Yeah,
he's a great player. Sounds like a great guy. When he was with the Giants in his heyday, he wore number 58.
Yep.
And the last two numbers of my cell phone number end in 58.
So there you go.
There was always a little kind of funny connection there. So I like the guy. Let's put it this way. I'm a literal guy. I don't like to use the term legend loosely. Like if they were, to me, he's not a Hall of Famer. He's not. I don't think he's not getting his number retired by the Giants. Great player.
Yeah.
Not amazing. He's not an LT, that kind of thing.
Oh no.
But worthy of a head coach. Yeah. I mean, he turned them around as the interim head coach, I guess.
Yeah, he was a stud, 5-4. I mean, and he's got the intensity. I like the intensity.
Yeah.
He's out there and he's young enough. I mean, 45 years old. He's gonna relate with the players. And that's what I like about him.
And what I like most about him, he did an interview with Rome on Radio Row or out there in Vegas this week, and he was talking about how, I guess his style of coaching, he's not so focused on the numbers, the analytics. He's a very down-to-earth.
Yeah, that's what I like, yeah.
Yeah, he goes by the eye test, which is me. Like, analytics, numbers serve their purpose, absolutely. Mix that in if it's me calling the shots, but I'm very much an eye test guy. What I see in my own eyes, I'm literal. And I think Pierce is the same way. Like, he was a player, so he's going by what he knows and what he sees out on the field, which I really, really respect and like. So
for sure.
I think they could be going somewhere.
I think so too. And, the last hire was Brian Callahan with the Titans. Mm-hmm. And an interesting stat was Callahan joins Kyle Shanahan with Mike and Wade Phillips with Baum as a second-generation NFL coach. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
That is cool to see the lineage and the heritage kind of get passed down that way.
Yeah.
Titans, they need some help. I mean, I guess.
They got Levis. Levis is a good,
Yeah.
really good quarterback. I don't know what's going to happen with Henry, but I don't know what's going to happen
Is
to
he
the
a free
team.
agent?
Yes.
Henry? Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen with Henry, but they still have Levis, who showed that he's a gunslinger. You know, he's a young Ben Roethlisberger. He's a young gunslinger.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I think that's a good little intro. I think we take a little break.
It is.
And then we go to the Super Bowl predictions and go from there.
I think so. We got one more beer.
Yeah.
So we're going to finish our beers now.
We'll take a little break.
Short break. And when we come back, we'll do our predictions and wrap it up. So stick with us for a few minutes. We'll be back. Bust my line, a couple beautiful girls tell me goodbye. Trucks break down, dogs run off, politicians lie, been fired by the boss. It takes one hand to count the things I can count on. No, there ain't much man that ain't ever let me down. Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. Like diamond rings and football teams have torn this boy apart. Like a neon dream, it just don't know me. The bars in this guitar and long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. So I think
Back at it.
I'm going up first, or you?
I think me.
You. Okay.
All right, so here's a fun one. It's called Hops for Teacher. Everybody knows the old song, Hops for Teacher. And this is from a brewery that me and Greg went to, actually, Wakefield Brewing in Miami, Florida.
Okay.
I call it Tim Wakefield Brewing, but it's not Tim Wakefield Brewing. And it's a 6% ABV. It's a IPA. Pretty excited for it. Really cool how it says Hops for Teacher. Check it out.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah,
So
pretty-
it's an IPA.
Yeah, IPA.
Ooh, a little spray there.
That's
Okay.
all right.
Yep. See this pour? See this pour?
It ain't going to be a problem.
You're pretty 99% on your pours.
No, it's 100%.
Well,
They'll be willing me.
look at that. Okay.
All right. Wow, that's very hoppy. At the smell,
Describe it.
hoppy, weedy, citrusy. Wow, that's pretty good. So what it hits you with is the hops at the beginning, and then it gets a little bit of wheat, and then a little bit of citrus, and then sweetness. That's an 8.3.
8.3. Okay.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
So
J.
that's
Wakefield Brewing.
Second highest for you today.
That's good.
Yeah. 8.5 the last one. 8.3.
And we went there. We went to that brewery, remember?
Tim Wakefield.
I was calling it Tim Wakefield's brewery.
Yeah. I like that.
Well, Tim Wakefield's.
Hops for teacher. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Everybody knows that song.
So, to show you mine. This is gonna be interesting. I have no idea really what to think of this, but I picked it just because of the can art. I mean, I've never heard of this before in my life. This is Johnny's Premium Lager.
Well, that's gonna taste like shit.
Yeah, I don't know. It's 4.5%, middle of the road kind of beer. You're gonna appreciate this. You know why I really picked it? Did you just see this? Or not?
No.
This is a Dauber beer. This is a DOB beer.
Okay.
Look at what this says, and I want you to be hard on this beer if it's not true. But it says made to be crushable.
No, it's not crushable.
I mean, this is a beer that you should just crush and
never.
shotgun and be done with it.
Never.
That's what it says here. So
Where's it from?
So it says from Florida. I'm trying to figure out exactly where.
It should be somewhere around here.
Made in Florida. It doesn't say, but so here's the description. Our story starts with the earth we tend to in honor of our ancestors and for the privilege of our children.
That's definitely not down.
It is our responsibility to take care of
No.
our home and most of each other
No.
without boundaries, one little step at a time.
No.
Johnny's Lager, named after our founder and brewer John, serves as a nod to the hard work and long hours it takes to build something
Stupid.
special to share with family and friends.
Stupid.
Yeah, so Johnny's Premium Lager, made in Florida, 4.5%,
Stupid.
brewed to be crushable.
Stupid.
So jury's out on this one.
I'm calling it
We'll
stupid.
see. It might be. I hope it's not. But let's see. Look at this pour. 4 for 4 tonight on our special Super Bowl edition, baby. Look at this. I mean, damn, that is a pour. Woo. Okay, that's a lager smell. Tell me, that's a lager smell.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Ready? All right. I mean, it's.
There we go. Call Johnny.
Oof. Actually, it kind of hit me at the end. Brewed to be crushable.
That's what I told you.
I don't think so.
Bullshit.
Let me hold on.
Let me see the can.
Oh, man. It's got a little bit of an aftertaste. Actually, it's a little bitter. Let me be fair to it. Hang on.
Made in Florida. Doesn't say where though.
Yeah, it doesn't say where. It doesn't say the brewery.
It doesn't. That's why it's a policy.
And
I don't like it.
it's not great.
Yeah.
Damn it. I should have made that the third one. I don't like ending on a low note, but this is not good. It's not terrible.
It's a stupid freaking logo too. A hat, Johnny's Premium Lager.
Damn, I'm upset with myself now. I
Yeah.
should have made this.
That's
I
on
don't
you.
regret picking it, but I regret saving it for the end because
It's on you.
the creamsicle one I had, the can taste didn't really fit. Tastes.
Uh-uh.
No. Wow.
All right, fine.
No, you can't have it. when Dan says no to a beer, he's like disgusted with it. So,
I don't like the logo.
so I gotta give.
I don't
it my
like what he
rating.
says. I don't like what he says.
I gotta give it my rating. 7.4. 7.4.
Yeah.
I mean that's.
Probably should be 6.4.
I don't think we've had a 6 beer yet.
Minus
I mean,
one because of the stupid logo.
Yeah, that's
But-
Johnny's Premium Lager. Not great. Don't recommend it.
Well, let's finish the show with our Super Bowl picks.
Yeah. So.
So I'm 2-0. You go first. You want to go over under and then the pick. So we'll do two picks again.
Yeah, you tell me what you got for the number.
I got 47.5 and minus 1.5.
Okay, I got -2, and I think that's the line. I do have
I'm just on ESPN.
47.5. Well, do Hard Rock.
Okay, do your thing.
All right, so I get my pick of one of the two.
Or you can do both. Let's do both.
Well, what if we're the same?
Then they're the same.
All right.
Let's make it fun.
All right. Oh, I guess that's true because
Yeah.
you are on record.
No, because we're tied.
Let's not do you. I say we don't do points. Just straight up. It's so close to.
Okay.
I don't want to give you two and me take.
Well, you
two.
know what I'm going to take. I know what you're going to take.
I got Niners just to win.
You don't want to take the points?
2? Sure, fine. It's close enough. Sure.
All right.
I honestly, I think it's going to be negligible.
Well, give me your background on it.
My background, I think the Niners, actually, what I wanted to do with you was predict the score. So I've got Niners 28-24.
Wow. Okay.
So if you add that up, it's what, 52?
Math major.
And Harvard grad here. Over is 47.5. So normally, I mean, I don't know, I'm a little high on that end. I guess they think it's a lower scoring game.
I got mine already locked and loaded.
I mean, I guess they're thinking, what, 26-21 or something.
I got mine locked and loaded.
I'm going a little higher, 28-24. Because of what we talked about earlier, two touchdowns per team. I could see 3 touchdowns per team.
I'm ready.
So I got the Niners winning. Give me the -2.
Okay.
28-24 is the score.
Okay.
And if I have to do over under 47, going over.
All right. So we got Chiefs +2, 27-23, over. Chiefs win 2 in a row. Let's go, Travis Kelce.
Wow.
Let's go. As my boy Kelce says on his podcast. All right now. All right now.
Does he say that?
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, I got to tune into that. So.
All right now.
All right now. Wow.
That's my dude.
Okay.
We're going to get him on the show here in a couple months. Him and Jason. We're going to make it work.
Yep. So we both got the over. You've got just barely over.
27-23 Chiefs.
You got 50 points, the over, and I got 52 rather.
So this was very Super Bowl centric,
Yeah.
which what we planned for. It was a lovely show.
First show in person.
Spectacular. Let's get a high five.
First
My
show
man.
in person. 4 beer reviews.
I hope everybody loved it.
Some good, some bad, but the show was phenomenal. Awesome.
Any closing remarks? I got none.
I hope everybody enjoys the Super Bowl for what it is.
Yes.
The pinnacle of the NFL season. Again, don't think you can ask for more than what we're getting. Chiefs Niners. I mean,
Yeah.
It should
amazing.
It should be a great game. So,
Yeah.
Hope everybody enjoys it. Have fun this weekend, and we're going to be coming back on Tuesday, our regularly scheduled spot.
So we'll see you in a couple of days.
We will recap everything Super Bowl.
Yep.
We'll talk a couple other sports we didn't get to today. We got some things to talk about.
We got some golf. We got some basketball. We got some NCAA
hockey,
basketball, a little hockey.
Yeah, a lot of things on the horizon as the NFL season comes to a close.
We got our friend Chip. We might hit up.
Yes, absolutely. Spring training going away. So
we
make
appreciate
sure
it.
you stay tuned to us. Overtime Sports Show. We're out there on all the socials. We're growing. We got some partnerships we're trying to spark up in the next coming weeks, coming months. So good things on the horizon.
Yep.
But hope you enjoyed the show.
I know we did.
Yeah, we will see everybody in what 4
or 5 days.
5 days.
We'll see you.
Show you Tuesday. Peace.
Everybody come see the greatest show. Gather up all juggalos and roll. Everybody come see the greatest show. Gather up all juggalos and roll.